No politician is going to want to be seen to be soft on firearm laws because they know it's political suicide. Gun laws in Australia are now at the point where it's going to be very hard to reverse anything, even if they are obscene, even if they don't do anything to influence public safety, even if they hamper public safety, like we saw with the doxing incident in WA, it directly put the public at risk with that incident. So you are going to see these laws spread. And that's my fear for the rest of Australia. That's why I've launched this legal action, because the only way to stop it is through the courts, because it's going to be very hard. Yes, hopefully with the election and with what happens in the upper house, and if we have some great candidates there who are on our side, and I'll be in the lead up to the election, I'll be showing you who they are so you know how to vote and who you should vote for in the upper house. You're going to see these laws be sent to a review, which will take 4 years, if it even gets to the stage where they agree to a review. It depends how many Labor, Greens, Animal Justice, they might get a seat too. It really depends on the makeup of the parliament, what we will actually get. So that's why I've been saying, where is the legal challenge? Why has no one gone to a lawyer and got this official advice called a letter of opinion from the King's Counsel, one of the highest lawyers you can get? Why has no one gone down that path when we've seen these laws come out now? We've had plenty of time to scramble up. Well, the organisations don't have to scramble up money like I'm doing. I'm going around shaking the tin, trying to get enough money for this legal action. It's very hard as one person to raise this amount of money. And last I checked, I was over just a third of the way there, I think. Like, it's still not enough because lawyers need to get paid. They're not going to do this out of the goodness of their hearts, although they have done it at a discounted rate, out of the goodness of their hearts for the fight. So I've managed to do that on my own. But where is the legal challenge? Because once you get a judge ruling that a law is invalid or it breaches something like discrimination laws, which I've talked about before, about the physical ability requirements on the new WA license, physical ability, this is human rights stuff now. You can't discriminate against anyone for physical ability or inability in Australia, yet it's in the law in WA. That's a blatant thing that we could challenge. But the shooting organisations have not gone to lawyers, or they're not telling us, and no one has shared with me that any of the organisations have got this high-level legal advice, because they've all been focused on the political solution and giving money to candidates. So what does that leave for the people when this is an avenue? In America, this is what their organisations do. Yes, they're involved in the political process. Yes, they give money to candidates over there, like we've seen here in WA. There was a story in Friday's West Australian about what one organisation there has been doing with their funding. Where's the legal action challenge? That to me is a big hole in the, this is a battlefield, right? You don't just have one area covered, you have to cover all your bases. So that's something that I've been working on, to try and raise enough money to get this before a court, get a judge to rule that's invalid, or that breaches this, or this wasn't done in accordance with the law here. But that takes money, and no shooting organisation in WA has donated to me, despite me asking. And so that raises another question. Why wouldn't they? I'm not the one I've waived my client privilege for the advice. It's not to benefit me. I'm not a firearm owner in WA anymore. Since I left, I had to transfer my firearm to my dad here in South Australia because I've been traveling. So I don't actually have any, it's of no benefit to me at all why I'm doing this, because the legal advice won't help me, because I cannot be the person to take it to court, because I'm not affected anymore, because my guns are not in that state. I'm doing this so the people have the information and the knowledge from the legal side of town, who are surprised that they haven't had shooters knocking on their door, because shooters have all been directed, hang until the election when we vote Labor out and when the Nationals will save us. To me, that is I don't even know what to describe it as. I don't think it's being honest about the situation, because I think we will still see a reduced Labor government after the election, because it will take a bloody miracle for that red wave to be reversed to the extent that we have Liberal national government, if they can even form coalition again, considering the relationship that those two parties have with each other in WA. They're not in a coalition like they are in Queensland as the LNP. They've got issues too. So why are you telling the people that it's purely a political solution and everything? All eyes are on the 8th of March and put Labor last. All eyes should not be on the 8th of March. We should also be turning to the courthouse, the other area of democracy in this country, the justice system, so we can take that fight there. So I'm still trying my absolute bloody hardest to get this fundraiser to the point where I can start work. I have been doing work for free. I can't help myself. When there's injustice, I'll just go ahead and do it and then wonder why I can't afford to feed myself dinner because, I haven't got paid for any of this, but I've just worked 12-hour day. I'm very bad at that habit. I can't do it anymore. I have responsibilities. I have a husband, and I have to find a house to live in, and all of those things that you do when you're married. So I can no longer operate like that. And I probably shouldn't anyway. I would not recommend it. It's not a healthy life. And that's probably why it's affected my health so much over the years, working for free and not being able to have dinner at the end of the day. So I'm doing everything I can for legal action. I am booked in to see my lawyers on the 10th of March after the election. If I have enough money, I can go full steam ahead on that. So if you can donate, please, if you can share it around, anything you can do to help, please, please help, because as soon as I get this advice, I can share it with all of you and we can go gangbusters from there and not have to rely on our politicians who will not be talking about gun laws on the first day. They just won't. And we cannot afford to wait any longer. We cannot afford to live under those laws for 1 second more than we have to. 1 second more.